Hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. The way I've laid out the cards is this is the first half of the month and this is the second half of the month. So you can see that the month of April 2026 for you is defined by a very clear transition from internal karmic work to more visible empowered state. One thing I would also suggest, if you haven't already, is to take a look at my pick a card reading. I feel like the energies of group 1 will resonate with you. All right, so getting into your April 2026 reading, Aries, I know you love action, but in the first half of the month, the universe is asking you to do some backstage work. All right, you need to learn patience. Something from the past has yet to be resolved. So it will surface again in the first half of the month. You need to sort of deal with it. It could be something internal. It could be a person. It could be a situation. You need to sort of work with your intuition. The other thing I would say is you're also asked to be more introspective. All right. The second thing that the cards were telling me, and again, please take the advice of experts here, but you may want to avoid any major financial or money related decisions, at least till the 15th of April. Now, this month can feel a little bit frustrating, especially for an Aries. You might also feel a little overreactive. Early in the month, just irritated with people in general. So grounding yourself through meditation, or just by observing silence or going, to the gym to release a pent-up energy will really help you. In the first half of the month, your finances might also feel a little like sneaky, or like a leaky bucket, like you don't really know where it's going, like small things, right? Like hidden subscriptions, those Instacart, DoorDash, or Zomato orders, hidden bills. So keep a lookout for that. Basically, the first half is ideal for self-improvement, rebranding, for spiritual progress, to whatever is coming from the past, taking care of that, looking over for rest and rejuvenation. Now, this is important. If you don't do that, if you don't accept this, I feel like the first half can feel like a struggle. But if you do, then you are preparing for a larger personal restart in the second half. Because from 15th or 19th onwards, you will see increased visibility, leadership, as well as earnings. So this harvest moon, I feel like, just talks about it so well. You will see abundance, gratitude, as well as completion. A moment of fulfillment is coming for you. All right. So yes, exactly. If you are looking for a job or you are in a job, then this month does favor strategic planning. Some of you might also get opportunities for remote work, as well as I see a lot of like international connections. The other thing that the cards are saying, because this Chariot and this Five of Wands landed side by side, focus more on output rather than office politics. Even this Mercury retrograde tells me that don't get caught up in gossip or in miscommunication. If you are self-employed, if you have a business, try and prioritize like consistent messaging and community, or being visible in your community, over just sort of brute force and trying to get things done the way some Aries might. I also feel like your finances are going to improve. You will feel like you have the resources. You're becoming more serious regarding your financial commitment, your respect, as well as pride. So overall, yes, this is a great month, just the first half, and it is important for you to really take care of the first half. The second half will take care of itself. All right. So overall, do the groundwork, and trust me, it will pay up in the second half. Again, thank you so much, Aries. That's all that I had for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my pick a card reading. I feel like there are more messages for you there. And take care. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. Now, this month for you, Taurus, it's more focused on career movement, changing social or changing network circles, and some internal healing. Now, the way I've placed these cards are, this is going to happen in the first half of the month, and this is going to happen in the second half of the month. Now, looking at your cards, I would also suggest, if you haven't already, to take a look at my pick a card reading. I feel like the energies of group 3 will resonate with you. All right, getting into April 2026. In the first half of the month, you will see significant activity in your career zone. That might also cause a few confusion, either because you are a little unsure of what sort of job you want, what sort of role you want, or you might be getting a lot of offers, but none of them really fit what you're looking for. But either ways, you will see that the cards are sort of encouraging, and the energies of the month are encouraging you to focus on networking. Therefore, asking you to focus on negotiations, reaching like a larger audience, especially after April 11th. You will be seeking out like-minded people, and that's what the Aquarius energy is. You will be seeking out like-minded people who can share their experiences, so you know what can be realistically achieved, right? So through collaboration, through working with people, through sort of diving into your network, can there be progress and insight for you? You will also see that you will get a lot of attention. Now, some of you might have a secret admirer. In other cases, you might find that the people that you reach out to, because that's where you're going to be doing your research, the people that you reach out to either know you or are very ready to help you. The other thing that the cards are saying is, when you speak to these people, you will know what can be realistically achieved. All right. You might also want to distinguish between friends and energy vampires. And as you do that, you will realize that there might be certain people in your friend circle, in your network circle, who probably aren't working out, and they're not allowing you to focus on your goals, rather they're helping you build your fantasies. All right. I also see that in the first half, you are going to be spending more on emotional comfort. So good food, spa. Some of you might also be traveling across this month. Now, it's always good to spend on yourself, especially if, let's say in your birth chart, you have Venus and Pisces. In fact, the more you spend, the more you earn. But the spirit is also asking you to maintain like a realistic budget and track your spending. All right. So that's the first half of the month. The second half of the month is a little more internal. All right. So after 14th or 15th April, you are being asked to be more reflective. Right. So if you had started and abandoned some spiritual practice, take that up, continue it. You may also feel a little more detached from the crowds. You might feel the need to sort of go inwards and focus more on quiet growth. That's sort of like the key word for you in the second half of the month. Also because you've got water signs. So in the sidereal part of astrology, you will have certain planets move through the water signs, or you may have a cluster of planets in the water signs. Either ways, the second half of the month is asking you to be more focused on the inner you. And this is needed, my dear Taurians, because I feel like Feb and March have been stagnant. There was like a heavy load for you, and April is when things start changing. But the universe is asking you to sort of ground yourself, because from when you ground yourself, you find like your inner strength, you let it blossom, you give it more nurturing energy, because from April 19th onwards, you will have your glow up. You will be charming, magnetic, you will feel more confident, your self-worth will also increase. So that's definitely happening for you on or after April 19th. For some of you, you might also be changing residences. I feel like there is some movement in terms of your house. So either you're renovating your house, you're preparing to move into a new home. That's also probably where this research is coming for. So you might be evaluating interior designers. So there is some home related karma that you will tackle. I feel like especially in second half, you also need to focus on your health. Taurus, you are responsible for your health, no one else. So spirit is asking you to prioritize, in the first half of the month, or even like not just first half, but even in the first part of this year, you may not have been prioritizing health. There was just too much comfort food that you were indulging in, but now you need to start thinking through your diet. You've been asked to prioritize long walks to ground yourself. By the way, for Taurus, a remedy for career or job is to take good care of your feet. Long walks, soaking your feet in salt baths, washing your feet before bed. Try this for 30 days and you will see your career improving. Anyways, so proper rest, reconnecting with your body, disconnecting from social chatter. So, there's more like going towards the old school books, not doom scrolling. So doing that maybe 1 or 2 hours before sleep, this will really help you start building your future while also practicing this inner peace and this inner strength. All right, so that's all I have for you, my dear Taurus. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do check out my pick a card reading, as I feel there are some messages for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, my Gemini friends. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. For you, Gemini, the month of April is full of like career movement, but there's also going to be this pressure to perform, and there is going to be some emotional confusion that you might be going through. So looking at the cards, I would also suggest, if you haven't already, to take a look at my pick a card reading. I feel like the energies of group 4 will resonate with you. So the way I've divided this is the first half and this is the second half of your month. So in the first half, I see that you will be focusing on learning. Like you might be looking through courses to apply. There will be communication with mentors. Some of you might actually be traveling, or you will just have like philosophical discussions with your friends. For some of you, you might actually take up writing. I feel like there is an increased focus on writing or publication just because you've got so many wand as well as sword cards. So you might be publishing a book, you might be publishing your first blog or vlog, or sort of updating or getting back to it. Some of you might also be asked to, to do a presentation of some sort. So basically you'll start to see visibility for you increasing. This is actually a good phase for students, provided you stay focused. All right. So communication, curiosity, but also adaptability. Like you will be asked to adapt as information comes through. Students, don't get distracted. All right. If you don't get distracted in a way, this is a very favorable time for exams, interviews, public speaking. So that's your first half. In the second half, especially after 11th or 14th April, you will see an uptick in professional growth. You will see visibility coming towards you. Though I feel like there is going to be an overload of responsibilities. One remedy the spirit is asking me is to direct you to use like a notebook for planning and avoid multitasking beyond whatever is your capacity. Because as I was doing these cards, the notebook where I keep all my client meetings, appointments, my eye fell towards that. So do keep like a dedicated notebook. Don't just scribble things. Don't over rely on your calendar, or make sure that your calendar is updated, because you will find yourself getting lost given the amount of responsibilities that are just going to be riding towards you. All right, so having a notebook, having a process is going to be very important. You will also see that you're starting to be put in a position of dignity and authority, but your speech can at times come across as like rigid or cutting. So across April, working on your communication, especially with authority figures, siblings, that's going to be very helpful. In fact, the advice that I would say for you is say less, but say it clearly. You are also going to be making a commitment, which is also why you might feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities. Now, this commitment isn't, for most of you, it might be in love, but for some of you, it might also be in terms of career, because you also got Aquarius, which is the natural 11th house. So collaboration, progress, insight tells me that you might be working in a group, but you will take on a lot of responsibilities. Just be careful. The other thing, again, communication and basically being careful in communication is coming a lot for you. So make sure that if you need to, you script your answers. Nothing is getting lost in the tone of the voice. But overall, this is a great month for career and visibility. So enjoy the fruits of your labor, Gemini. I feel like 2025 wasn't a great year, but 2026 is going to be for you in general. And April is definitely where you will see a lot of it come up. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please do check out the pick a card reading, because I feel like you will have more messages for you. Take care, my awesome Geminis. Bye, and I'll see you later. Hello, my amazing Cancer natives. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. Now, April 2026 is going to be a month of ambition, but there's also pressure, inner growth, and emotional test. This month is sort of asking you to take risks, look for outward movement rather than like a desire for security and comfort. So looking at your cards, I would also suggest, if you haven't already, to take a look at my pick a card reading. I feel like the energies of group 3 will resonate with you. Also do look for the readings for your rising, moon, as well as your sun sign. Now, coming to the first half of the month, this focuses on guidance, learning, and planning. Right? The first half may feel more like spiritually soft and reflective. Like I got the word honeymoon for you. This is, some of you might actually be traveling, going to your honeymoon. You might also be going to someone's wedding, but there is almost like a soft, how do I say it? Almost like a spiritually soft and reflective energy. So take this time to be with your family, to get grounded. There's also a strong pull, like there's almost like an indecision or a strong pull between this desire for security and being pushed towards growth, action, visibility, and responsibility. You may feel as though life is asking you to sort of grow in 2 different directions. And what the cards are saying is you need to focus on movement. You want to sort of stay with something that's comfortable, but you need to sort of walk away and walk towards movement. Also, the card in terms of like the moon phase was growth, insight, and preparation. So you're preparing for growth, and that does not come if you hold on to something that is, that has been stable, that has already given its rewards, but it pretty much has done its job. It's time to move out of that phase. And the second half is where your career takes center stage, where your role becomes more visible, and there is like this increased pressure to perform. You will take action. I'll repeat that. You will take action to strengthen your income potential and your financial steadiness. Especially after the 19th of April, you will see that the tides are turning, you are taking more action, and that is giving, rewards. Now, during this time, you are encouraged to focus on, like, I can see that you will be spending a little bit. So just focus on value-based purchases so that some of the gains that you will have, no doubt, during this time, it's not just lost to like unconscious spending. But at the same time, the cards are asking you to avoid any office drama, right? So avoid any like reckless risks. That was a tongue twister. Reckless risks, and refrain from any ego clashes. Like, don't submit your resignation letter in a fit of emotional upsurge, or like taking reorganizations, like reorgs or restructurings personally. Okay, you may also indulge in some emotional eating because things are going to be a little chaotic in the second half. And you are, as a Cancer, you're someone who thrives in stability. So you might you might go towards things like ice cream, etc. Because when I was reading your cards, I heard this ad for ice cream. So you might be tempted to seek refuge in things that once brought you comfort, like childhood things, right? And what do we eat in our childhood? More like junk food or even ice cream. So try avoiding that. If you can, spend some time near water. That's like one of the best remedies for Cancer natives. It will help heal your mind. I also have a small YouTube short that I have taken near the water's edge. You can hear the sound every morning to just ground yourself. Otherwise, you can just hear any rainfall sound, something that is that's like that has the element of water. There's also an emphasis on speech, all right, and time with your family. Like, I feel like your words this in the second half of the month, they carry a lot of weight, especially when it comes to family matters. So speak with care. Even like with authority figures, make sure that you are not saying something that may result in ego clashes or ego battles. All right, so make sure that your words are not contradicting or resulting in ego clashes with either your family or with authority figures. Like, you need to compromise, you need to forgive, you need to work it out. That is going to be very important for you in the second half. So overall, there's a lot of movement for you, Cancer, in the second half. There is inspiration. There's going to be visible professional upliftment, but it can feel like tackling an emotional tornado. So use the first half to really figure out how to ground yourself, enjoy the calm, and then you will go into second half ready to take on the world. All right, so that's all I have for you, my lovely Cancerians. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my April 2026 pickup card reading, as I do feel like there are more messages for you. That's all I have for you. Bye and take care. Hello, my beautiful Leos, and welcome to your April 2026 reading. Now, as again, I've laid out the cards. This is the first half of the month, and this is the second half of the month. Overall, April 2026 is going to be a month of relationship karma, deep transformation, and career balancing. So looking at your cards, I would also suggest that if you haven't already, take a look at my pick a card reading. I feel like the energies of group 1 will resonate with you. Also do look at your readings for your rising, moon, and the sun sign. All right, so the first half of the month begins with a heavy focus on relationship and financial karma. You are being encouraged to ask, like, who can you trust? And are you growing with the right people? At the same time, at least till April 14th, I feel like, or at least till April 19th, career is not the loudest theme because the energy is really directed towards inner healing, right? So if you look at the rain moon card, it says renewal, healing, and emotional cleansing. And this is what the first half of the month is going to be like. There's going to be a focus at relooking at your shared resources, investments. What does your dynamic look like with your spouse or your in-laws if you're married? If you're single, how do you view yourself in relationships? Do you tend to do more of the heavy lifting in a relationship? And I feel like, my Leos, you may have faced trust issues in the past few months. And April is sort of like the culmination point. Like in March, I feel like for some of you, you may have faced rejection. And that was because it was not the right time. This could be a rejection from a person. It could be from a job that you may have applied to, or just the inability to achieve maybe a goal. Some of you might also be waiting on like alimony, insurance, inheritance, or severance pay. And if you may have received that in March, just know that this is not a month for being reckless or making emotional financial decisions. But basically the universe is asking you to sort of go inward, reevaluate the importance that you're putting on those dynamics, like whether it's a relationship, whether it's a shared resources. Are you driving how you evaluate your worth based on those things? Or is there something more stable that you can link your worth to? Because you need to find the answers in like literally till in the first half of April, so that you can transform. Because the transformation, like when I looked at the cards from your second half, they could not be more different from the first half. Because for your second half, definitely something is ending and something is beginning. A new cycle is beginning. Because even as I took out this card and I was like, reaching out for my tarot cards, the Wheel of Fortune sort of fell out. So your second half is literally overflowing with opportunities. Your efforts culminate in abundance. All this effort in inner healing that you've done, there will be overflowing abundance, completion, and celebration. So second half, I literally feel like this is going to be more divine timing. Like your destiny opens up. You receive the support. Career and networking improve to a point. Like everything is coming in fast, right? So your career, your networking is improving. You might actually feel slightly overwhelmed by these positive shifts. Having been sort of in that phase of like emotional pressure for so long. In fact, like while I was reading your card, the vision that I got was you were riding out of a dark tunnel into this bright, beautiful light. And that can feel disorienting at times, right? But my Leos, the second half of the month will be more graceful. You will have more direction. And my only advice is don't let pride or control sort of ruin this phase, right? You will also see you have increased guidance from mentors, teachers, gurus. You will feel a stronger sense of faith, of purpose. Like if you're someone who's practicing the law of affirmation or assumption, you will see how being dedicated to it is sort of paying off. This is destiny. This is karma working in your favor. All right. So April is your turning point for sure. Your karmic debts have been paid off. And you need to get ready for this new phase of grace, of dignity. That's what's coming for you. All right. That's all that I have for you, my lovely Leos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my April 2026 pick a card reading, as I feel like there are messages for you out there. This is a beautiful transition, my dear Leos. You've been waiting for this for so long. All right. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Virgo friends, and welcome to your April 2026 reading. Now, before we begin, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading. I feel like group 2 may strongly resonate with you. Also, don't forget to watch your rising, your moon, and your sun signs for a fuller picture. All right, so the way this is divided is I'm looking at the first half of the month and the second half of the month. All right. So starting with the first half of April 2026, the month sort of begins with a strong focus on just emotional well-being and your relationship. There's a sense here that you're being asked to look at your connections with a more authentic eye, like with honesty. Like, who are you building this connection with, this relationship with? What are you carrying within those dynamics? For some of you, your relationships at the start of the month may feel a little heavy. Like, if you meet someone new, definitely there is attraction. And in fact, you could meet someone new. There could be attraction, there could be meaningful conversations, but also like moments where you feel like you have to tread a bit carefully. I don't see this as the best month to start a new relationship, but if you do, like, it is what it is. Just avoid going overboard with fights or conflicts. If you're married, you may need to check decisions your partner makes during this time. Now, on a practical level, I do see like the first half of the month is actually quite supportive for starting something new, especially in business or in collaborative work. This period is particularly good if you're in the consulting or service-based roles, legal, admin, health, wellness, teaching, and the window before April 14th, that's the data I'm getting from Spirit, is great if you want to start a new venture. Now, when you move into the second half, the energy sort of shifts. This is typically somewhere around April 14th, 15th, but you might feel this near April 19th. It's more intense. It's a little more magnetic because you can see some of the cards over here. Even that's full moon in Scorpio, right? Scorpio is a pretty intense sign. There is a theme of like karmic release. You've been practicing maybe something that will help you with this. So there's a little bit of like letting go of pride, letting go of control, stepping into something that is more grounded, spiritually aligned version of yourself. In fact, success in the second half comes from depth of details. All right, and focusing on more strategic planning, like being on a more mature level and not getting caught in like striving to an impossible standard of perfection. And for those of you who are studying, who are researching, who are diving into something that's intellectually demanding, this is an amazing time. So it may happen that in the first half of the month, you start something, you see some traction, and then you start diving deep into it and seeing what others miss. Though across the month, your stars are telling you to make sure that you are staying humble, because that's how you will get that emotional fulfillment that you have been looking for. The other guidance that I'm getting to tell you is to keep like a written schedule or a structure. This is basically because there's going to be a lot happening in April and you don't want a mental overload, right? Approach your finances calmly. Make sure you practice patience and communication. Overall, I feel like April is a month of great results, especially through letting go and taking like a more aligned, emotionally clear version of yourself into this month in both career as well as love. Some of you, like I said, will start something new and that will keep you inspired. So that's all I have for you, my lovely Virgos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely check out my April 2026 pick a card reading. There are extra messages waiting for you there. Take care. Bye. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. Looking at your cards, April 2026 seems like a month where you will have breakthroughs, all right? There is potential for love, but work pressure and relationship demands can increase. Now, before we begin, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading. Also, don't forget to watch your rising, moon, and sun signs for a fuller picture. So, coming to April 2026, 2026. I have divided the cards into two halves. This is going to be the first half. This is going to be the second half. All right. Now, the first half of the month, you will face a period of, I feel like, heightened, what we say, professional pressure. There's also a heavy focus on daily routines. Now, this will also bring up the issue of health and habits, but I feel like April is probably the best time for you to be disciplined, to kick any new habit, to kick any old bad habits and start new routines. There will also be an urge to retreat or sort of escape, especially as, you know, your work demands go up, but try not to give in. Even for students, this is a time to move beyond the superficial understanding and commit to something more rigorous, to a more honest approach to your learning. You may also resort to emotional eating or, you know, any addictions, like it could be alcohol, it could be smoking, some of these, because sometimes what we eat does affect, or what we eat does affect our financial situations. You may resort to emotional eating. Instead, just hit the gym. For you in April, you will see that every time you work out or you use some method like Tai Chi to release work pressure rather than daydreaming, you will find success, right? So through strength, and that is through working out, either your physical body, your emotional or mental body, you will have success. Also, if you have pets, do take care of their health, because some of them may be, a little accident prone. So watch out, right? Also, you've got full moon in Capricorn, because the first half is about, like I said, structure and responsibility. Structure in terms of creating new habits, all of them, so that you can deal with the work pressure. When it comes to the second half, and this will be post April 15th, the focus sort of shifts to partnerships and practical success. Many of you, if you are single, you will meet someone with whom you have this intense attraction. All right. There will be great chemistry. You will find that you are thinking about them more. So yeah, you will definitely meet someone, but this energy can channel as ego clashes. Right? So you want to be careful. Like, the primary goal for you, Libra, is to try and take this relationship towards a little more of an emotional, like a relationship maturity, something that's more authentic. On the career side, or if you're students, you will find a breakthrough, either through a completion of a project, or a job offer, or more confidence in a certain subject. Now, both relationship and the career or studies, the cards are saying stay grounded. Your problems are not going to go away if all you do is build castles in the air. Especially in the second half, there is going to be a focus on staying grounded so that you can build your wealth. Okay, the universe overall is giving you a lot this month. By staying authentic, by staying grounded, you can use April as a breakthrough month. In fact, the card that came out for your lunar your lunar message was said breakthrough, it said action, it said confidence. So definitely a month where there is a lot happening, especially on the relationship as well as the work front, but you will accomplish something. All right. Don't forget, that's all I had for you, Libra. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Definitely do check out my April 2026 pick a card reading. There are extra messages waiting for you there. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Scorpios. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. This is going to be a month of major creativity. You will see rising professional visibility, and you will also need to tackle some family matters across this entire month. Now, before we begin, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading. I feel like group 4 may strongly resonate with you. Also, don't forget to watch for your rising, moon, and sun sign for a fuller picture. Now, the way I've divided it is I've divided the cards into the first and the second half of the month. So starting from the first half, you will definitely feel inspired. There's a lot of one energy. So there's going to be a strong surge of creative fire. Many of you will either start a creative project or take one up that you've abandoned a long back. Now, creativity doesn't always mean hobbies. It could be that you're bringing in an out-of-box thinking to your ways of work. You're basically going beyond what's conventional, all right? This can also come up as romantic intensity, because you did get the romance card. So one's energy in terms of romance does represent passion, or someone is on your mind constantly. Some of you may also start something new, or you might take up courses on entrepreneurship. However, avoid letting this intensity turn into like dramatic emotional reactions or impatience with loved ones, because that's like the shadow side of the Wands energy. You'll also see that family matters may come up, especially if you have kids. Your kids will need attention, or they might just be more frustrated, so help them. The other thing that I do see is that the fruits of your past life karma will start blossoming. You're going to see a lot of lucky coincidences happen for you, my Scorpio. Coming to the second half, so somewhere after April 14th to 15th, though some of you might see this somewhere around April 19th, the energy is more focused on your profession. All right, you will find yourself tackling a lot of pending matters, trying to be more productive. Now, some of these tasks can be more mundane, like dealing with admin or legal. And there's an ask to not ignore any paperwork and start becoming organized and practical. In the second half, I also feel like your energy is going to get sad because everyone wants a piece of you, Scorpio. A simple remedy for you is to, if you can, take long showers, right? Pamper yourself with bath salts. And if that's not possible because it is summer in some areas and water is scarce, soak your feet in salt water while doing slow, gentle breathing. All right. Another remedy is for you to declutter your workspace. Actually, I got Temperance and this card also fell out. So there is a little bit of decluttering, just, you know, getting those cobwebs out of your personal space. Spring is around the corner, so start spring cleaning. I feel like it's going to be good for you. Last thing is avoid reaching for alcohol. This is also a card of addictions, and you did get health issues could arise. So make sure that you are not reaching for alcohol, drugs, or just, you know, unhealthy food as a crutch when things start to get heavy. So this is a great month when you want to get things started. Like definitely in the second half of the month, you have your full moon in Aries, which says action, confidence, and breakthrough. So yes, whatever you start, you will start getting results in the second half of the month itself. Those creative projects that you started, you will start seeing more results. The second half is more about implementing them, getting your life in order. But this is a very positive time for you, Scorpio. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Definitely check out my April 2026 pick a card reading. There are extra messages for you there. That's all I had for you. Have a great month, Scorpio. Bye. Hello, my amazing Sagittarius. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. For you, April is going to be a month of finding comfort, happiness, and having creative breakthroughs. Before we begin, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading, as there are messages that will resonate for you. Also, don't forget to watch your rising, moon, and sun sign for a fuller picture. So there are two parts. This is going to be the first part of the month. This is going to be the second part of the month. For first till almost like April 14th, the focus for you is going to be home. It's going to be comfort. It's going to be, you know, some of you might happiness. Some of you might be moving to a new house, or decluttering your house, or addressing some domestic or family matters. For some of you, I'm getting that you will be spending more time with your mom or a mother-like figure, making more time for them. Now, it doesn't mean that nothing's going on professionally, but at least in the first half, like based on the cards and the energies, I feel like your professional life, it may not be like the protagonist, but it's definitely being supported or at least impacted indirectly by what's going on at home. Also, if there are like family issues, you will start to see a resolution for them in April, because you do have manifest that came right across the disagreements card. So in April, you will start to see that get resolved, or at least the start of a resolution. Now, what's important is that you manage this family stress so that it does not spill over and negatively impact your work output. Also, be cautious of like emotional spending during this phase, particularly regarding comfort related expenses, right? Like home based obligations. Like you may not need that very expensive kitchen gadget or that water fountain. Okay. Some of you might also start craving for home cooked food, especially if you're away from home, or you may even like learn recipes from your mom or your grandmom if they are still around, or someone who represents that figure. But definitely this is a time for comfort, for happiness. You can manifest quite a bit. You've got emotional release, connection, and home being like the major energies for first half. Once you hit April 15th, the energy and focus shifts to creativity. It shifts to romance. This is more like a very sunny energy. Some of you might take up creative writing projects or projects that require a creative bent of mind, all right? However, do take expert advice, but Spirit is telling me to say that around April 19th or 20th, it is a great day for you to start new projects. But again, if you have to start them before that, please do. Some of you will start getting into the dating world, because I do see the Two of Cups as well as this energy came out for you. This might be like you might be hearing back from someone that you may have either dated, or you may have sort of reached out on a dating profile, or I don't know, the dating apps. But yes, this is a prime time for romance. There is like you are feeling quite a bit confident, creative, and you're sort of starting to express yourself. The fact that you got Leo as well as the Sun tells me that this energy is pretty strong for you, my Sagittarius. You will find that person, but in terms of romance, like there won't be like this, or rather, along with physical attraction, I feel like there are going to be more longer conversations and like bonding over food and travel. Like you see these two, raising their glasses. You will also see a renewed enthusiasm, especially because any attempts towards like brand building, teaching, consulting, any work that allows your voice to be heard, it will be rewarded. In fact, this is the best time if you are a voice artist. Those who are looking for a job will see interviews come in, and I feel like you will genuinely enjoy them. Like there will be more conversations than like those rigid, almost cold interviews. Students may need to give presentations, and if you do, you will see success. If you're confused about which course to choose, now you will have that clarity on how to go ahead. Overall, there is this, that initial heaviness that you may have been feeling, that's sort of wearing off. You're looking forward to enjoying the comforts, giving focus to romance, ideas, your outer aspirations. Overall, this is going to be a very supportive month for you, my Saggies. That's all that I have for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely check out my April 2026 pick a card reading. There are extra messages that I feel like are waiting for you to hear. Bye. Hello, my hardworking Capricorn. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. For you in April 2026, you will accomplish a goal of all the signs. You will find that mental energy and courage to reach a defined outcome despite obstacles. Now, before we get into the details, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading, as there are messages that I feel will resonate for you. Also, don't forget to watch your rising, moon, and sun sign for a fuller picture. All right, now I have divided the month into two halves. The first half, almost till April 13th or 14th, you will see you have increased mental energy, increased mental focus, and the ability to act on your plans in your career or personal life. So those vision boards, those plans you may have drawn, they have a higher chance of getting completed, at least getting off the drawing board and seeing tangible progress in April. I also feel like this is an excellent time for meetings, for interviews, definitely content creation. Like some of you might start something related to content in terms of like maybe starting your own YouTube channel, getting started with some other social media platform, or maybe restarting it. Now, if you're in sales, you will do well. Some of you can go on an unexpected short trip. So there, like for example, I got the distance. So it means that you are traveling away from your base, away from your partner or family. But this will sort of be unexpected. You also want to be careful that you have all your documents, because just be ready for any issues. But overall, you will feel a very strong drive, and this courage to get things done, and less patience for delays. Now, if you have siblings, you may have some interactions with them. I do feel like you might be talking a lot to them. Just make sure that you're not getting impatient with your family members or not getting drawn into conflicts, because when there's a lot of fast-moving energy, any delay or causes us impatience, whether it's work or whether it's on the personal side. So you don't want that sort of energy to start coming in. After April 15th, almost till the 27th or 28th, the spotlight sort of shifts towards home and family. All right. Some of you may be redecorating or moving houses. Some of you will learn more about your ancestors. Like from someone, there's a good chance you may discover that you have like royal blood or something, or you'll find that an ancestor of yours accomplished something that brings great pride. So if you're looking for a house, you will find one at a very good price. The other thing that I'm getting is there's going to be more focus on feeling like emotionally secure, right? So, and I feel like that's needed for you, because you will see how the more secure you feel at home, the more that you trust your intuition to build something solid, the more success that you get at workplace. So the more that you make sure that family matters are resolved with patience, work starts to definitely feel easier. So there is a link between how well you're able to settle things at home and how much this impacts your ability to have something more stable. All right, that's all that I have for you, my dear Capricorns. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do check out my pick a card reading, as I feel like it will have more messages for you. Take care, but this is such a beautiful month, Capricorn. There's a lot you will accomplish. All right, bye. Hello, my unique Aquarius. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. For you, April 2026 will be a month of finding financial resources, finding that time with family, with siblings. But before we get into the details, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading, because there are messages that I feel will resonate for you. And don't forget to watch for your rising, your moon, and your sun sign to get a full picture. Now, I've divided the cards into the first half and the second half. So in the first half of the month till almost April 15th or 19th, the universe will support you in dealing with personal finances, opening up resources for wealth, and bringing more opportunities for you to get more time with your family, or like family, like groups of people that you gravitate towards. You will also find that after a period of sluggishness in probably the previous months, there is mental clarity, quick thinking, stronger self-expression, which is excellent for planning, for presentation, just being able to speak about your ideas. I also feel like your voice will hold more charm and authority, because you've got earth signs, which typically they typically look at second houses and speech. So this is really good for you. You will also, while you will be financially like comfortable, you might get a sense that like money may move more slowly, but responsibility increases. So your speech, though powerful, will need to be measured. So again, coming back to the earth signs, your speech has to be measured. The lesson in April is for you to sort of speak less, but mean more. After April 11th, it's an excellent time for financial planning, reviewing your expenses, and sorting out any family conversations. Now, you may need to do that because the cards are saying that you will go on a bit of a spending spree, so just be really careful. But overall, at least in the first half, there is going to be a growth and blossoming of some kind through looking at your finances, through spending time with your family, and making sure that you're using your speech in a more measured way. Coming towards the second half. Oh, sorry, just one more thing. I did talk about financial planning in the first half, but please make sure that you are taking the help of experts. Now, coming up to the second half, which is April 15th, communication is going to be the focus for you, and it will reap rewards. This supports things such as content creation, marketing, short distance travel, meeting new clients, meeting with important people, with your boss. So you will have the opportunity to present or take on some sort of a creative project. So if that happens, like if you get the opportunity to present, please don't shy away. That is going to be really good for you, my Aquarius. It will be of great help in terms of your professional standing, in terms of your brand building. All right. Also, the content that you create in this phase, it will be some of the best, because the universe is really supporting you, because you sense that you will not, like, because the universe is supporting you, you sense that I can take any risks. All right. I'm also hearing that some of you might beautify your home, like buying high-end or branded home decor. Some of you might also get into healing courses, because you do have the fog moon, which talks not just about mystery, which is also like what I talked about, right? The universe is the universe is backing you. So despite of what might be ahead, you are okay with taking the risks. Now, the date 23rd and 27th may be of importance for some of you. These could be the dates when you launch something, or a long worked project gets recognition. So overall, there may be focus on reducing your spending, dear Aquarius. This month absolutely supports your endeavors and gives you some much needed financial knowledge. That's all I have for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the pick a card reading, and I feel like that will have more messages for you. Take care. Bye. Hello, my intuitive Pisces. Welcome to your April 2026 reading. This is a month of personal strength, finding your personal strength, awakening, and sort of stepping into your most authentic self. This is definitely a month of a major glow up. Before we begin, I definitely recommend checking out my pick a card reading. I feel like group 1 may strongly resonate with you. Also, don't forget to watch your rising, moon, and sun sign for a fuller picture. Now, I have divided the cards into 2 groups. This is the first half and this is the second half of the month. Now, the first half is sort of asking you to step out of passivity and into action. There's a strong surge of courage here, like you're finally ready to take charge instead of like waiting for things to happen. I mean, you have the thunder moon, look at that. Power, awakening, and transformation. That is your energy for this month. But at the same time, a part of you is still in this reflective phase, observing and thinking, trying to understand what your next move should be. And this can create a bit of sort of like a mental overload, because there are too many thoughts, too many possibilities, maybe even an overthinking or sort of feeling scattered. But your intuition is very strong, like you know where to find information for, like you, again, don't overwork yourself, but trust your gut instinct. You know what to do, you know what needs to be done. Like your intuition is strong, and this is, I would say, a very powerful time for journaling, meditation, quiet planning, and sort of using that solitude to not just feel your way, but to know what those first steps need to be, what you need to start acting on. And you will find that as you get to the second half of April, especially after 14 to 15, there's going to be more clarity, more communication, more stability. So there is a shift where your mind almost immediately sharpens. You're able to express yourself better, make decisions, cut through all that confusion. You're also no longer just thinking, because your magician is your main energy. Oops, yeah, this agrees, right? So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they're all about this fast moving energy. So you're using your skills, your voice, your presence more intentionally. There's still a need to sort of balance things, especially when it comes to money, your priorities and responsibility. You may also feel like you're juggling a lot, because once you start taking action, a lot of things are going to fall into place. But ultimately, this is all leading you to stability. You're feeling more grounded, you're feeling more secure, you're very clear about your values. This is about how you treat yourself, and you're creating a life that supports for you. I feel like the core message for April for you, Pisces, is you may start this month a little slow, but you will start, the action that you take will be a lot more deliberate. You will find that inner strength to take action with clarity. So definitely a very powerful reset for you. That's what April is. You're not losing this intuitive softness that you have, but you're learning how to protect, build a life around it, and act on it. So that's all I have for you, my lovely Pisces. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my April 2026 pick a card reading. I feel that there are a lot of deeper messages waiting for you. Take care and bye.